This is the final day. For the last 6 months, we have been broadcasting daily baseball, the box scores, everything that's happened in the world of Major League Baseball. And guess what? We're going to continue. How's the sound, everybody? Let's check the chat room as we have a newcomer in the chat room, Captain Caveman. Nice to have Mr. Stockton in the chat room. How's the sound, Eddie Heckman? Thank you very much. Sound is good. Greg couldn't make it today because, I don't know, maybe there was another chat room that he got auditioned for. Who knows? We'll see. But after 6 months of everyday baseball scores, this marks the end of the season. And every time I start the show, a fly lands on my wrist. It's unbelievable. It's incredible. But anyway, that's what we got. Good morning to Captain Caveman, Eddie Heckman. Merrill Horston is here. Mitchell Horston is here. Primetime 21. That's Jason Swiss. Good to see you, Jason. Love you, man. Nice to have Jason. The King Hap is in the chat room. Robert C., Unholy Toledo, White Sox Gal. Zelmo will be here soon, as many others will as well. And let's do it. But this is not the end of the podcast. Not at all. This is the time that the podcasts really flourish. We got the off season. We got the trading rumors. We got all the other stuff. Preparing for next year. The best time to prepare for next year is now. Shut the door. Gee whiz. You got the front door open and because of a fly. The whole house is run by one stupid fly. I mean, give me a break. The only fly that matters is a fly that you don't even know about, okay? Anyway, so that's the story there. So let's just get to one thing, something that we've covered almost every day. Good morning to Taco, who has joined us. We've covered this every day. We don't know why we cover it. It's in the headlines. It's not that they're going after Babe Ruth's record or Joe DiMaggio's record, but technically, Rays rookie shortstop Wander Franco made it to first base 3 times on Thursday, but listen to this. I don't get it. He made it 3 times to first base on Thursday, but his streak of reaching base ended at a record-tying 43 games. What kind of bull-dinky and nonsense is that? How do you reach base 3 times and not have it count towards reaching base? I mean, what is that? What are they trying to do? Malpal is here. Good morning. So if you reach base 3 times, because twice in the 4th and the 9th innings, he got on base, but he got on base on a fielder's choice, only reaching base by getting a hit, drawing a walk, being hit by pitch, counts for streak purposes. So you got to change the wording. It's not getting on base in a row. The other time, Franco was called safe at first for what would have been an infield single before the call was quickly reversed on a replay challenge. So he was 0 for 4, and still the streak that started on July 25th, he had a 13-day injury stint, matched Frank Robinson's run for the 1956 Cincinnati Reds as the longest for players 20 and under. So he reached on hits 34 games, but just a walk 8 times and only once hit by a pitch. That's bull-dinky. If you get on base, you get on base, right? 5 times during the streak, he reached base on his last plate appearance. He had 55 hits in 43 games. Only swung and missed at pitches. This is incredible. This will tell you how good he is. He only swung and missed on pitches 48 times during the streak. So he now has the longest single-season streak in Rays history for players of any age. He beats Tommy Pham's record of 48 over 2 seasons. So there you go. Just thought we'd get you caught up on that. Another stupid rule. How do you like that, Captain Caveman? You see, we hit it all, right? We hit it all. Absolutely hit it all. Now, the A's and the Braves, Astros and the Braves clinched their division. as Houston wins 3-2. Their magic number to clinch home field in the American League Division Series against the White Sox is 1. The White Sox have to sweep Detroit this weekend, and Oakland has to sweep the Astros in Houston, okay, because the Astros win the tiebreaker. Otherwise, it's the White Sox at Houston, October 7th and 8th. Okay, so there you go with that one. Excuse me. The Braves division title, I mean, what a nice turnaround. They didn't even have a winning record on the year until early August. I know that in the offseason, a lot of us predicted Atlanta. I have to check my records. I either predicted Atlanta or Philadelphia. I think I predicted Philadelphia, okay? But then Atlanta lost Acuna, Soroka. I mean, give me a break, man. You know, and they still, after losing these players, they wait till early August, and they get and who's the other player that they lost? Who they lost? They lost 3 players: Acuna, Soroka, and somebody else. But they spent 126 days without a winning record. The 4th most days by a division winner since 1969, and the most since 1989, Toronto. So the Mets are in first place, 104 days, thanks to Jason Swift, and they don't make it. Atlanta's 126 days without a winning record, and they win the division. A division that we thought would be pretty good turns out to be one of the worst. Good morning to Zelmo. Nice to have Dr. Z in the chat room. The Hartson boys are together. They get together every Friday because Monday is the roundtable. Don't forget, even though today is the last day of Major League Baseball for the chat room, we got Sunday morning. I don't know what we're going to do, but we'll figure it out. The Lady and the Legend. And then starting Monday, we got a new era coming on, okay? We're doing baseball all year long. So Houston and Atlanta clinch their divisions. The Yankees' magic number is 2. They're in a 3-way wild card tie. How about that? 3-way. So the Mariners are second, Blue Jays are third. You got this is going to be fantastic, okay? And who's calling? Back to the busy phones. The spam callers are starting already. Getting a lot of spam calls lately. The only other game, so game 163, we talked about the possibility of Colorado and Atlanta, but the Dodgers could play the Giants to determine the National League West Division winner. The Giants are 2 up going into tonight. They face the Padres at home this weekend. The Dodgers host the Milwaukee Brewers. How about that? So we got a lot of stuff here. Andrea now will be entering the chat room. And the Philadelphia Phillies, remember back in April when we broadcast the podcast, all right, it was the giddy 3-game sweep by this is probably why I went heavy with the Phillies. The Phillies, 3-game sweep of the Atlanta Braves to start the season, and then they found themselves on the wrong end of a 3-game sweep against the very same Atlanta Braves on Thursday night. Their 5-3 loss in Atlanta eliminated them from postseason contention as the Braves popped champagne in celebration. So the Phillies have 3 games remaining, all in Miami against the Marlins, and then they head home. 10th straight year without a postseason appearance. Only the Seattle Mariners, who last made the postseason in 2001, have gone longer without making the postseason, and they remain alive in the American League wildcard race. We're all rooting for Seattle, right, Andy? Andrea's in the chat room now. Chat room is loaded once again. Thank you all for being here. Don't forget, you guys have been here all the way with me. Greg is missing, Chris Gallo is missing, but you guys have been all the way with me, and I can say nothing but thank you and I love you. And we'll keep it going, because that's what we do. All right, we escaped from the stupid stuff going all over the place. All right, so the Phillies eliminated. Okay, Kyle Gibson allowed 4 earned runs in 4 1/3 innings in his final start. Now, Kyle Gibson, when he at the beginning of the year, if you remember opening day, he was destroyed. And then he became a pretty good pitcher on Texas. Then he's traded to the Phillies, and a lot of us got excited fantasy-wise. He allowed 4 runs in 4 1/3, final start of the season. Kyle Gibson, now listen to these numbers. 5.09 ERA over 11 games, 10 starts since joining the Phillies. He did not have a good season. He is not a fantasy pitcher. This is why you got to prepare now. You open up your magazines, you take a look next year, you may think, Kyle Gibson was pretty good. He was not good. A 5.09 ERA in 11 games. That's not good. Jason Swiss, great to see Jason in the chat room. One of the original foundation members of the chat room long time ago. So the Boston Red Sox, it's crazy, Malpal, right? The Boston Red Sox, I shouldn't say Mal, King Hap, how you doing, King Hap? The Red Sox lose 2 out of 3 to the Orioles. How you doing, Eddie Heckman? It was only the 3rd series loss in team history in which an opponent entered with 100 losses, and they wound up winning the series. 3rd series loss in team history in which an opponent entered with 100 losses. Wow. Now here is the genius of the day question. Whoever gets this wins a prize, but you can't look it up. So if you get the right answer, I know you looked it up. And Andrea, stay out of this. I asked her this last night. She couldn't get it. Imagine being married to a lady. Your pillow talk is, hey, sweetie, who leads the Red Sox in stolen bases this year? Hey, honey? And then she's starting to throw out names. Who leads the Boston Red Sox in stolen bases this year? And how many does he have? Okay? You get one guess to win a prize. Huh? That's right, Captain Caveman asking about King Hap. He is from Boston. That's right. And Taco, they go together. Who leads the Boston Red Sox in stolen bases this year? And how many? How about that one? Not Doers, Devers. There's one wrong. The most leadoff home runs by a Red Sox in a season. Nomar Garciaparra has 7. Kiki Hernandez has 6 this year. Mookie Betts has 6. Dwight Evans had 5. Mookie Betts had 5 back in 2018. And for those of you who are going to be looking at Bogarts in the offseason, he was 5 for his last 28. Still a great fantasy player, right? Next year. Now, with the MVP votes coming in, and good morning to everybody, Malpal, who leads the Boston Red Sox in home runs? So MVP voters, I hope they don't go strictly by WAR. You can't vote MVP by WAR. It's an easy cheat sheet, but it's very inexact. There are 2 different WARs. WARs have changed based upon new defensive metrics. No reason why they won't keep changing. Right? WAR grades the full game, but it's still evolving. They haven't even finalized the best WAR yet. So if MVP was based on FWAR this year, Juan Soto would be leading, tied with Marcus Semien and Vladimir Guerrero. The 3 of them have a 6.6 WAR. Trey Turner, 6.3. Bryce Harper, 6.3. Jose Ramirez 6.3 as well. Name the Boston Red Sox. You have one guess with the most stolen bases this year. Come on. You will win a prize, and it could change your life. And James Caplion, your great prize went out yesterday. So keep in touch, okay? I'm sure you will. Current American League wildcard standings: the Yankees 91-68, the Red Sox 89-60, Seattle 89-70, Toronto 88-71. 3 games left for each team. Wow! Coming down to the end. Yankees at the Rays, Red Sox at the Nationals. We got something to say about that. Mariners against the Angels, Blue Jays against the Orioles. And if things ended today, Mariners at Fenway Park in game 163 against the Red Sox, with the winner facing the Yankees. So, Yankees with a 2-game lead, 3 games to play. The Blue Jays need some help. Wild card race, unbelievable. There could be a 3-way tie as well. Could be a 3-way tie. The Mariners are tied for second in the American League wild card. Yeah, Mariners in a playoff position. And having Thursday off didn't stop Seattle from climbing up the American League playoff race as they moved into a tie for second, with the Red Sox losing to Baltimore. Unbelievable. Chris Gallo in the chat room. Morning to the Chris Gallo. Captain Caveman making himself really at home in the chat room. There you go. So, it wasn't good news for the Marathon. The Yankees, who are in command of first place, defeated Toronto. The loss for the Blue Jays made them 88-71, 1 game behind the Mariners in the standings. Okay? 1 game. Looking at the playoff picture. 1 game. So, it's going to be fascinating, okay? And, it's crazy that the Red Sox play the Nationals in the last 3 or 4 to end the season, and they're playing without a DH. Something doesn't seem right about that. An American League team playing to make the playoffs will be playing without a DH. But that's not your team. Look, I know there's a lot to say about that. Okay? So, Mariners have 1995, I think they had a 1-game playoff. Really good news for the Mariners as well. They're red hot. They've won 10 out of their last 11. The Red Sox have lost 5 out of 6, including 2 or 3 against Baltimore. And Boston will be without a designated hitter this weekend when they play 3 games on the road against the Washington Nationals. And the Blue Jays will host Baltimore for 3 games. It's all getting crazy. All right, let's get to the Dodgers. Corey Seager hit a home run, 115.3 miles an hour. He's the first Dodger, and he also hit one almost 111 miles per hour. He's the first Dodger player with multiple 110 or more mile per hour home runs since StatCast first recording it back in 2015. How's the leg, Chris Gallo? Anthony D.B. Miller is in the chat room. Morning, Anthony D.B. Miller. Caveman, how you like it so far? This is the greatest chat room in the history of chat rooms. It is, with the Hartson boys, the Malpal, the Primetime, Robert C., Stardog. You'll never find a greater place than this. Corey Seager has played exactly 162 games since the start of 2020. He's batting .304, 109 runs, 38 doubles, 4 triples, 38 home runs, and 116 RBIs. That's crazy. And as far as visitors at Dodger Stadium in a single season, Fernando Tatis has hit 7 home runs. That's the most home runs by a visitor at Dodger Stadium. Todd Helton had 7 as well. Hunter Pence 6. Luis Gonzalez with the Diamondbacks, he had 6. Mike Schmidt had 6. Jimmy Wynn had 6. Holy mackerel. And when you're looking at the leaderboard, Sal Perez, too bad he's hurt. I would have loved to seen him hit 50. He's got 48 home runs. Vlad has 46. Ohtani 45. Semien 44. And with the home run hit yesterday, Tatis 42. And if you're watching the Blue Jay games, okay, Nate Pearson threw 9 pitches at 100 miles per hour, 5 more than any other Blue Jay pitcher in a single game in the pitch tracking era since 2008. Holy mackerel. So, Nate Pearson could be a pretty good one for next year. Etch his name in your kitchen table, and I tell you every day, have a little notebook next to you. You gotta watch Nate Pearson in the spring next year. I've given you a couple of tips about players, and it's funny, the Hartson boys leave the chat room at the same time. It's not even, what do they call each other? I'm leaving. I'm going. How do they leave at the same time? They'll be back. Nate Pearson for next year. When Giancarlo Stanton plays the outfield, the Yankees are 17-8 this season. Is that crazy? When he plays the outfield, the Yankees are 17-8. Okay? But the nonsense of the Red Sox fighting for their season and having to play the 3 most important games of the year without a DH is crazy. The Yankees currently, in yesterday's game, when I tuned in, they had 4 hits, all home runs. That would be the second most hits of all home runs in any game in Yankee history. Okay? Now in 2004, they had 5 hits, all home runs. Lofton, Jeter, A-Rod, Hideki Matsui. And last night, 5 out of their 6. 5 of 6 hits they got were home runs. How's that, Captain Caveman? 5 of 6 hits were home runs. And Robbie Ray, pitching last night for the Cy Young Award. And isn't it interesting? In the final season, in the final game, Robbie Ray's going to go, and he'll go up against the Yankees and Corbin Burns, and he'll go up against the Dodgers, who have Max Scherzer looking for it. Robbie Ray's ERA is 2.84. He's still on track to win the American League earned run average. But we'll wait to see if he pitches out of the bullpen Sunday or in a potential tiebreaker next week. Okay? Robbie Ray, 5 1/3, gave up 5 earned runs. So, and on the flip side, the most hits, all home runs that the Blue Jays have allowed in a game was only 2 back in 1981. So Aaron Judge hit 2 tremendous home runs. 455-foot home run, 441-foot home run. He's the second Yankee player with multiple 440 feet home runs in a game. Alex Rodriguez did it. The most career multiple home runs in a game playing right field. Of course, it's Babe Ruth. And then it's Aaron Judge. Ruth had 35 multiple home run games playing right field. Aaron Judge, 15. Roger Maris, 12. Then you had Tommy Hendrick, Dave Winfield, Hank Bauer, Paul O'Neill. But how about that for a bunch of great names? Star Dog. How we doing, kid? Great to see the Star Dog. Anthony Miller, great to see you as well. Taco, I love you, man. Now, Luke Vogt is out for the rest of the Yankees regular season and potential wild card game. Injured list with a sprained knee inflammation. There were others that said it was something else. I think this is all bullcrap. I think Luke Vogt asked for it looks much better, since he's going to be a free agent, for him to miss the important games of the year because he's hurt, rather than just being benched. Being benched does not help his free agent value because he's injured and not playing. So he probably went to the Yankees and said, look, if you're not going to play me, then put me on the injured list. Don't make it seem like I'm not good enough to be in your lineup. It's going to hurt me. I really believe that happened. I haven't read that anywhere. Has anybody heard anything like that? What about you, Chris Gallo, Eddie Heckman, Mitchell Arson? I knew he'd be back. Prime Time, Robert C., Taco, Onoli Toledo, White Sox Al. Anybody hear that? That Vogt asked to be put on the injured list? Wouldn't be surprised. And there's a chance, according to Fangraphs, Luis Severino could be starting the last game of the season for the Yankees. Now, the Yankees have Kluber lined up after Cole, but they don't have to go with Kluber after Cole in the playoffs. Game 1 would be Thursday. Montgomery would be lined up after that. The Yankees 45-33 at the stadium. The Rays are 46-32 on the road. Tampa's 5-2 at Yankee Stadium. So all useless. In a small playoff game, all these numbers are bull dinky and poppycock. King Hap put himself on the injured list today. Yeah, we could do that, right? Anthony Miller thinks it's a good idea. I think it happened. The Yankees and Luke Vogt just haven't gotten along. Will Smith pitched the perfect ninth inning, 2 strikeouts. Atlanta wins 5-3. They sweep the Phillies, clinch the 4th consecutive East title, on to Milwaukee to play the Brewers. And Austin Riley, he won't win the NL MVP, but he deserves to be in the conversation. Hitting .303, 33 homers, 105 RBIs. He has actually had spectacular. His 33rd home run of the season was against the slider. Now remember, he hit .138 against sliders in 2019. He entered tonight hitting .299. I'll tell you, this guy is making himself into a star. A star. A superstar. And with a 2-run single that gave the Braves a 5-2 lead, Austin Riley was just doing it. The only Atlanta Braves or Milwaukee Braves to hit 300 with 30 home runs and 100 RBIs at age 24 or younger. Wally Berger did it in 1930. Remember, Onoli Toledo, went to Wendy's and ordered a Wally Burger. He really did that. Eddie Matthews, Hank Aaron, Chipper Jones, Andrew Jones, and Jorge Soler. First career leadoff home run, he hit it off Kyle Gibson, and it traveled forever. Longest homer of his career. And this was the second longest. The longest also came off of Gibson. Shohei Ohtani hit his 8th triple to go along with 45 RBIs. The 5 most recent players to reach both 8 triples and 45 home runs in the season: Mike Schmidt, Jim Rice, Willie Mays, Eddie Matthews, Ernie Banks. Wow! What a class to be in. That's like saying I'm going to be with King Hap and Taco on Wednesday night. Same thing. And Rafael Ortega. Anybody know what team he's on? And I'm still waiting. Who leads the Boston Red Sox in stolen bases? Come on. Has anybody, if you made a guess, put it back in the chat room. I haven't seen it. Who leads? Chris Gallo's got to go. How do you leave the chat room for a shower? I haven't taken a shower since we started doing this podcast back in April. It's not important. I'm telling you, Chris, don't do it. Who leads the... that's right, Rafael Ortega's on the Cubs. He's the first player to steal third and home and also hit a home run in the same game since Marcus Grissom did it in 1992. And he did it in the first 2 innings. And the Cy Young race is a lot closer than people think. It may not be Scherzer and Burns. It could also... What about Zach Wheeler and Walker Buehler? They also have distinct arguments for being Cy Young. Right? Malpal never leaves the chat room. Showers are very overrated. Overrated. And A.J. Pollock, who's in the midst of one of his best seasons, 301, 19 homers, 27 doubles. Wow. He would be one of the best outfielders on the free agent market, but it's confirmed he will be just a few plate appearances shy of the threshold necessary to trigger an opt-out clause. How about that? He loses out on potential free agency because of a couple of at-bats. Wow. Now, last year's pandemic-shortened season really threw a wrench into a lot of vesting clauses, such as this one. But we'll see what happens. He needed 443 plate appearances, 433 in 2021 to unlock the opt-out, but he's at 408, 4 games to play. It ain't happening. So, he's age 34. Wow. Most wins in a season for the Giants, 1904. They won 106 games. They'll win 105 in 2021. And they'll go with DeSclafani, Gausman, Webb this weekend against the Padres, and that would knock Gausman out of a wild card game start. But they want to prioritize getting him an extra day off, so we'll see. And Lamont Wade, whoa, whoo, here he is again. Lamont, don't get scared, caveman. All right, we pop our corks, and Ric Flair comes in every once in a while. Right? If you don't believe me, ask Anthony D.B. Miller. Ask White Sox Al or Zelmo. Tonight was Lamont Wade's 6th game-tying or go-ahead hit in the 9th inning this season. That's the most by any Major League player in a season in 40 years. Unbelievable. Lamont Wade hitting .571 in the 9th inning or later. That would be tied for the highest batting average in the 9th inning or later in a single season since 1974. Also, Jerry Mumphy. Remember him? He had a good season in 1987. Adam Wainwright will be the second oldest pitcher in St. Louis history to start a postseason game. Pete Alexander was 41. Okay? So, Roger Clemens, he started. And the Mets are leaning towards getting rid of Luis Rojas. But at the same time, and then I got to think about Jake DeGrom that you got to hear. I got something about Jake DeGrom. Not Devers. Nope. Lamont is on your team. Well, I'm married to Lamont, so there you go. Francisco Lindor has 9 home runs in September, tied for his second most in any calendar month. How much are we paying for? Come on. Anybody decide to go a couple of dollars more on Lindor? Okay. September was the most prolific RBI month of his career. 9 home runs, 25 RBIs in the month of September. Does that make you change your mind on Francisco Lindor? I think we had him at $16, maybe $17. Now, there's a chance that Jake DeGrom may be the only player on the Mets left from the 2015 team when they were building. Could be Syndergaard, could be Conforto. I don't think so. And the Mets have decided not to pitch Jake DeGrom. I think that's a huge mistake. And if you don't believe me, go to Cleveland. Shane Bieber allowed 1 run, 4 hits, a strikeout. He made his second start since returning from a 3-month stay on the injury list. He wanted to head into the offseason feeling positive. The Mets didn't think of that. It wasn't about winning or losing games. Yeah, the Mets were out of it. But you want to send DeGrom into the offseason feeling positive. You also want to see what he's got. Come on, man. Stupid move after stupid move. If he pitched 2 games and his arm still was not where the Mets wanted it to be, come on. Then they had to go out and get somebody. Maybe Robbie Ray. Crazy stuff. And Cleveland did it. He pitched so he could, and he worked his way out of a jam, and he pitched good. Now, here's the deal. Paul Sewald went from being a non-tendered Met with a 5.5 career ERA to becoming the Mariners' closer as they make a run for what would be their first postseason appearance in 20 freaking years. Are you kidding? Another Met. Here's the Mets' starting rotation. Chris Flexen, Zach Wheeler, Colin McHugh, Steven Matz, Scott Kazmir, Michael Wacha, and Rafael Montero, and throw Sewald in to close the games. That's all former Mets, so they got nothing for. Holy mackerel. That's the Mets. Iglesias, I don't think he was a Met. Flexen, Wheeler, McHugh, Matz, Sewald, Kazmir, Wacha, Montero. Whoa. All right, but they got Taijuan Walker. He pitched only 67 innings through the past 3 years, but he showed signs of returning to be an effective and dominant pitcher. So we'll see what happens. Now, the White Sox up-and-coming playoffs, their attendance is down. With the great season that the White Sox had, their attendance is down 5% from 2019. Crazy. And over 43% of Jose Abreu, his 650 plate appearances, 43% of his 650 plate appearances have resulted in a home run, walk, strikeout, hit by pitch, or ground into a double play. Mr. Consistency all the way. And the 8 and 9 spots are the 2 positions in the White Sox batting order with the least amount of strikeouts. And they've drawn the most. They drew more walks from the 8 and 9 spots than they did from the 1 and 2 spots. Wow. They have no dead spots in their lineup. That's what makes the White Sox so great. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No, Iglesias is not. All right. I'm almost ready to give you the answer. Who's got the most steals on the stolen bases for the Boston Red Sox this year? Only Toledo says if the White Sox moved to Indianapolis, they would be tremendous. White Sox Al says go Sox. The White Sox have won 5 of their last 6 games and 8 of their last 11 at guaranteed rate field. They're 51 and 22nd and 27. That's the best home run in the American League. And what are we doing with Keston Hiura next year? Anybody? Keston Hiura? Anybody like Keston Hiura? Rumor has it that Dallas Keuchel may be going to see Eddie Heckman in Baltimore. That's our first off-season rumor. Dallas Keuchel to Baltimore. How about that one? And Bobby Witt Jr., what a game. 3rd player in 30 years to have 30 homers, 30 doubles, 30 stolen bases. Are you kidding me? Lewis Robert and Grant Desmay. I don't even know who he is. Where are the others? players with 100-plus runs, 25 home runs, 20-plus stolen bases, 100 RBIs, 290 batting average. It's Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette. Now, Lance McCullers pitched, and he has allowed 3 runs or less in 22 of 27 starts this year. Go all in. Put this in your notebook. Lance McCullers is a pitcher next year. 22 of his 27 starts in 2021, he allowed 3 runs or less. And is Juan Soto the MVP? Because Bryce Harper has disappeared in the big series. I don't know. The most recent trios of teammates with 170 hits, 110 runs, 100 RBIs. Toronto with Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero, Marcus Semien. Remember Colorado, Dante Bichette, not Bo, Ellis Burks and Andres Galarraga. And the Yankees with Ben Chapman, Lou Gehrig, and Babe Ruth. It's all out of your mind. And ladies and gentlemen, we end, I'm not done yet, but we're ending the season that started in April with the Nuggets. That takes care of the Nuggets. We made one big change this year, and that was Nuggets. More Nuggets. Now let's go to the games. We got more Nuggets from the games. In our final show since April, don't forget, we'll be back Sunday at 9 o'clock, and then next week, holy hell's going to break loose. Okay? In what might have been his final game, Michael Conforto, a pair of run-scoring 2-out singles. He made a great shoestring catch. Unbelievable. Looks like he was, don't forget, he was the 10th overall pick in 2014. I like Conforto for next year. Pete Alonso homered twice. 37 homers, but only 12 at Citi Field. I will also say Pete Alonso will not be a Met next year. Pete Alonso doesn't get along with Javier Baez. It'll only be one of them. That's per Irwin Zwilling. When he saw everybody congratulating Baez, and yet Alonso had his head in the towel. Unbelievable. McCann had a 2-run double. He was 0 for 16. He hasn't been a great acquisition. Rich Hill gained his first win, 13 appearances. They acquired the left-hander from Tampa. Not a very good acquisition. Not at all. Okay, not at all. Atlanta and Philadelphia. Ian Anderson, another dominant performance. Solar and Riley homered. The Braves' 4th straight division title. They didn't climb above 500 until the 6th of August, and then won their 21st division title. And we talked about Riley. Ozzie Albies also figures to be part of the MVP race. The Braves spent 126 days without a winning record. Wow. The Phillies really struggled. JT Realmuto did nothing. Bryce Harper. The 3 and 4 hitters in the lineup were a combined 0 for 22 until Realmuto homered with 2 outs in the 8th. The Braves have 3 of the top 5 among National League's RBI leaders. And don't forget Adam Duvall, 112 RBIs, 44 since he was acquired from Miami. Wow. Nolan Arenado, Manny Machado, the only other 2 National League players with at least 100 RBIs. It's crazy, man. And how about, and we got to watch Justin Steele, who breezed through 7 shutout innings. So we'll see. 4 and 4. Looked pretty good. Hard to take a lefty who hadn't gone more than 5 innings and 8 starts on the Chicago Cubs. But we'll watch him. You can't watch everybody in spring training, but I'm giving you a list of players that must be watched. Dylan Carlson, 2 go-ahead home runs. 1 lefty, 1 righty. How about that one? Okay? 2nd career multi-homer game for Carlson. He's the first rookie in Major League Baseball history to homer from both sides of the plate in the same game multiple times in the season. That's according to the Elias Sports Bureau. And Carlson made 2 big catches. Luis Urias hit an opposite field home run. So, crazy. Wainwright will start the wild card game against either the Dodgers or the Giants. He's 17-7 with a 3.08 this year. We told you about Lamont Wade. Late night Lamont. That's what we call her here at this house. Late night. She's up till 4 in the morning. And last night, I think it was about 1 o'clock, I had to get up because she's cackling with her mother on the phone. Are you kidding? It woke me up. I didn't want to tell her it woke me up, but laughing, screaming, I don't know what they're doing. They had a party on the phone. Mother lives out in Seattle. Wade is 13 for 23, 12 RBIs, and the 9th inning. Late night Wade, Lamont. Johnny Cueto entered in relief for the first time in his career, so he'll be used in relief in the playoffs. Carson Kelly and Pavin Smith, 2 players to write down for next year. RBI singles. The Diamondbacks 50 and 109. They got a 20 and 61 road record. Wow. They've lost 24 in a row away from Chase Field. Mookie Betts and Corey Seager homered back-to-back in the first inning. Justin Turner, A.J. Pollock did the same in the 4th. Crazy. The Dodgers just rolling. 103 wins with 3 games left. The Dodgers could finish with the most victories of a team that failed to finish first. The Brooklyn Dodgers were 104 in 1942. Only Toledo and I were at the game. Right prime time. Robert C., how we doing, kid? White Sox gal at the game all the time. Fernando Tatis, NL leading 42nd homer. Corey Knebel got a win. And Velasquez is still pitching. Gave up 4 runs, 6 hits in 4 2/3. The Padres lost their last 9 games against the Dodgers. Crazy. Velasquez still pitching. Aaron Judge, 2 of New York's 5 home runs. Gleyber Torres, Anthony Rizzo, all homered off of Robbie Ray. Yankees 2 games ahead of Boston and Seattle. They've won 8 out of 9. Luke Vogt, I'm telling you, that's a bad one. That's not just on the field, that's off the field. Judge, 37th and 38th, 6th multi-homer game of the season, 16th of his career. And Robbie Ray stumbled. Final chance to make a case for the American League Cy Young. 4 hits, all home runs. Gave up 5 runs, 5 1/3, walked 3. Not good. Corey Kluber, 2 runs, 7 hits, and 4 2/3. Are we taking Corey Kluber next year? Not this guy. Not this guy at all. Corey Kluber. And, of course, the Orioles beat the Red Sox. Ryan Mountcastle, the Hartson's Rookie of the Year, hit a 3-run homer in the 3rd inning. Baltimore lost 107 games this year. Crazy stuff. The Red Sox have lost 5 out of 6 against the Yankees and the Orioles, and they've only scored 19 runs. And Eddie Heckman was not at the game. Carlos Correa hit his career-high 25th homer. He was once a star. Will he be a star again next year? Carlos Correa, 25 homers. Colin McHugh was the opener yesterday. Boy, the Mets could use Colin McHugh. Nico Goodrum hit 2 homers. Jonathan Scope hit a solo homer. Woo! Josh Donaldson hit a 3-run homer. Tarek Skubal surrendered a solo homer to Byron Buxton. Byron Buxton's having a career year, and Captain Caveman doesn't even know it. Or do you know it? Captain Caveman friends with King Hap? I don't know about that. We may have to rescind your credentials. Shane Bieber, 3 effective innings. 1 run, 4 hits. He wanted to head into the offseason positive. The Mets didn't care if Jake DeGrom did the same. Franmil Reyes was scratched. 10 homers, 30 RBIs since August 18th. You may not hear him anymore, but don't forget him. Adolis Garcia breaks the rookie record for home runs and RBIs, hit a 2-run homer. 31st. And there you go. And Alex Cobb had allowed only 3 homers in 91 innings before Peters hit a home run. And don't forget Jared Walsh. 10 for his last 21 in his last 5 games. And my fellow chat room people, we started in April. It's now the last game of the podcast season. We'll be back Sunday morning 9. Please come in. We got big surprises. And then next week, who the hell knows? We got a lot of stuff going on. We are not stopping, and it's all because of the chat room. And we miss Greg today, but we know. We thank you, Anthony D.B. Miller, Captain Caveman. I hope you loved it. We love you. King Hap, the Malpal, Mitchell and Merrill Hartson, Prime Time, so good to see you. Robert C., Star Dog, Taco, Unholy Toledo, White Sox Alan Zelmo. You guys, there he is. There he is, holding his big pumpkin. It is Unholy Toledo. Love you, man. And we'll see you again tomorrow. And Anthony Miller's going on the injured list? What's that all about? All right, here's the answer to the question. The answer to the question. Velasquez, the catcher. The catcher. Jorge Velasquez has the most stolen bases of 8 with the Boston Red Sox. There you go. Kept you to the end. Thanks, everybody. Love you. We'll see you again Sunday morning. And now here's for you new guys, I give you my phone number. Feel free to call if you got any questions about your team, a trade, a keeper, whatever it is. Don't you dare hesitate to call. It is, I'm putting it in the chat room, Christian Velasquez, that's right, has the most stolen bases of any Boston Red Sox player. Wow. Have a great day, everybody. Malpal, love you. See you later, everybody. Thanks to the entire chat room for a fantastic season. Christian Velasquez had the most stolen bases on the Boston Red Sox this year. 8.